So I just got back from Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Once again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below because that helps the algorithm, pushes my videos out there. So yeah, I just got back from Lee Cronin's The Mummy and I was pleasantly surprised. Just written and directed by Lee Cronin. So he directed Evil Dead Rise, which I said wasn't my favorite Evil Dead movie, of course. The original was superior, but it was really well directed, and he does a great job with this movie too. So I reckon they called it Lee Cronin's Mummy really to differentiate it from the Mummy franchise that's ongoing with Brendan Fraser. We know we're getting another one of that series, the fourth one. Film stars Jack Rayner. He was in Midsummer, which I loved. We have James Wan and Jason Blum, both producing the movie through the Blumhouse banner. And right out the gate, if you're going in expecting the classic Mummy movie where they're wrapped in bandages, or it's some like undead creature that wants to wreak havoc and unleash plagues on the world, it's not that movie at all. This is more in line with Evil Dead and the Exorcist movies. It's a possession movie over anything else. It's an ancient Egyptian demon that takes control of this small girl.
Can I get 2 slices of pizza?
No.
Of course, honey.
No, you never ever finish 2.
Hello?
Mr. and Mrs. Cannon, I'm Deputy Chief at the U.S. Embassy. Your daughter Katie has been found.
So The Mummy reimagines the classic horror tale as more of a visceral modern nightmare. When a journalist's young daughter mysteriously vanishes in the desert and returns 8 years later, this family's relief turns into dread as sinister forces follow her home. It combines sort of supernatural tension, psychological dread, and body horror. It's really Cronin's gore-filled vision of Evil Dead. And other people have kind of described it as part Poltergeist, part 7. Don't really see that personally, but there is a little bit of Poltergeist elements when it is her bedroom that is constantly having things moving around and twisted and things are going strange in that room. So I kind of get that. The only little nod to 7 that I could see was during the movie there's a box presented with a videotape in it, and I was waiting for the character to go, "What's in the box?" I had a great time. This movie is gruesome. There's some horrific stuff in them. It takes a lot to make me kind of wince and kind of look away from the screen. I have seen a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies. You know, I've gone through the Evil Deads and the Hostels and the Saws. Like, there isn't really anything that can make me shiver other than when it's related to feet. Anything when it comes down to feet just makes me ugh. And there is a scene in this movie, it's horrible. When a mother goes to clip the girl's toenail, she's struggling to clip it because it's really thick, and then she ends up taking off her skin all the way up to her knee, and that I could just feel every second of that, and it was horrific. Lots of blood, lots of skin ripping, lots of biting and scratching. Now, I will say the performances of our younger cast in this movie are really, really good. Both Emily Mitchell and Natalie Grace, both credited in the movie, and they don't have any other things listed against their name. Absolutely awesome performances. The idea of this not being like a pharaoh or this grand person that's been mummified, brought back to life with this curse, and having it just be an ordinary girl makes it more terrifying, makes it more kind of closer to home, and really digs in under the skin as such. It doesn't feel as grandeur as this pharaoh king, you know, people going around the tombs and avoiding booby traps and all that kind of stuff. Like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser kind of feels Indiana Jones National Treasure-esque. It's an adventure action movie. There are some horror elements to it, but this goes full-blown body horror, and it's wild. There are some moments that I think are rushed over. Some things we could have spent more time on, like when the father goes to a professor to investigate the strange markings on her skin. I was fully expecting this kind of team up between them and kind of going down the Omen route. There is a little nod to more so, I'd say, the Omen in this movie. Like the way the animals react to them in the car reminded me of the zoo scene. You know, when the monkeys are reacting to Damien. That very much reminded me of that when we have like the coyotes reacting to the car. And then something happens to the grandmother as well. I don't want to spoil that here. But again, kind of reminds me of the Omen as well. There is definitely a more authentic Egyptian kind of feel to the movie, even when a lot of the movie doesn't really feel all that ancient Egyptian. There isn't pyramids. There isn't these vast desert landscape shots. It's not a particularly sandy looking movie that you come to expect from The Mummy. In fact, most of the movie was filmed in Ireland and Spain rather than Egypt itself.
Exactly. That's why I want to know all the different things about you. Like what? Like how your little piggies taste.
There's also a lot of Catholic faith inspired in this movie as well, definitely. And what's interesting in that respect is that we don't see that in the other Mummy movies. It's always Egyptian mythology. And there is some Egyptian mythology in this movie, but it's definitely more heavily rooted in Christian faith here. That's definitely displayed on the side of the grandmother who's constantly blessing her granddaughter. There's lots of vomiting. There's a shit ton of vomit in this movie. If you don't like vomit, this might not be the good movie for you, but it is full of bloody vomit and a lot of scorpions being eaten and crunched, lots of teeth coming out, all of that kind of stuff. I think you'll squirm. I think there'll be something in this movie for everyone to squirm at. Some of the scenes do kind of get brushed over way too quickly. There's a scene where there's a plane crash and it's quite a vital point to the plot, but it's never really visited on how that actually happened. We don't see how that plane was affected by the sarcophagus that was being carried on the plane, and they just skip over that, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, it leads it up to more mystery, but there's a lot of scenes that I felt that were unnecessary against scenes that we could have seen. The beginning of the movie is a little bit jarring and all over the place, a little bit messy before we get to the actual family. And I don't think there was all that a lot of chemistry between the mother and the father in this. They seem to be at odds a lot of the time against each other. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. I don't think I felt the connection between the family as much as I'd like to. There's definitely some Shining references here too. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that, but when the son has a baseball bat and he's running around chasing the mum at the end of the movie, not only does that remind me of the maze scene at the end of The Shining, but also there's a little bit of the score there that sounds identical to the Shining score. I don't know if that was on purpose or if it's just something that's just injected into the genre for so many years that it's become a thing. One of my favorite sequences though was when we get to see what's on the videotape, and again, I don't want to spoil it, but that was probably the most Mummy-esque moment in the movie for me. And I liked the dad's reaction to the videotape as well, because it's the first time that he'd seen his daughter looking as he remembers since she went missing. I did like the play when she goes missing, the father blames himself and the mum blames him, but won't say that directly. But at the same time, neither of the parents knew that there was this woman next door that was like almost grooming her. There is this kind of subtle hint of abuse in the movie, which is kind of weird. And again, I think I would have liked to have seen more time with her in the garden, being spoken to by Layla, being enticed by them, really building on that tension of what they wanted to do with this girl. I feel like the beginning, so I'd say the first act feels rushed. The middle act, the second act is great, it's fantastic, and then the third act lacks a little bit. I think where the movie ends, I kind of don't believe that the mother would have done that, being so close to her daughter and wanting to actually save her and believing that she could save her, to what she does at the end kind of goes against her character, I think. I'm torn on that. I would like to see this movie again just for another watch and catch. I feel like this is a movie that I'll probably catch a few different things next time. definitely a lot of homages to other movies in this film. And as a horror fan, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and you will pleasantly enjoy this movie. I am going to do a video which compares this movie to the first Brendan Fraser movie, the Hammer Mummy movie, and also the Universal Monsters classic Mummy movie as well. Rather than doing individual videos for those movies, I feel like it will just be better if I kind of pit them off against each other, and we'll just discuss what movies are different, what movies, what did they do differently, what did they do well against what they didn't, and just kind of pit each sort of section of the movie against each other. So that's going to be kind of fun to do. I hope you guys will stick around and watch that. I'm going to give Lee Cronin's The Mummy 3.5 stars. It has its faults, but overall it's just a strong body horror, supernatural horror movie. And again, I've said this in my last supernatural horror movie review, in that they don't always stick the landing with their endings. This one has its problems with the ending, but it's definitely not the worst supernatural horror ending that I've seen. Next big release video, review video wise, I'm looking forward to is Michael. I'm going to go see that on Wednesday night, and I'm so excited for that, guys. As a big Michael Jackson fan, so I can't wait to bring you my review for that one, so stay tuned there. You can find me on TikTok as well for shorter reviews, and also I'm over on Twitter. I've also got a Letterboxd account as well, which I'll put in the description below. And if you want to join my Discord, you can do. We do watch parties every Friday night. This next one, so we just done Sinners. The next one's going to be The Lost Boys. You can watch the movie along with me, chat with me. We can just have fun and just chat movies. So if that's something you are interested in, consider checking my Discord out as well. I am working on a new podcast as well, movie-related podcast. So stay tuned for more details on that. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you with the next one. Take care of yourselves.